Wow, a complete redesigned tail. Wow. Salutations fellow hobbyists and welcome to the follow-up hobby head video to my real grade Hi Nu and high grade Nightingale speculation. Bandai released few new pictures and answered some of my speculations. In this video, we will be looking at the newer pictures, compare them to the recent one, and look at where I hit and miss with my previous speculations. Let's start with the Hi Nu real grade. First off, I call the color blue. My bad. My computer's color accuracy was off. It's purple in this picture. But in the new release picture, it's blue, royal blue with lavender. You know what? I give up on what the actual color is. I have to see the actual kit to say what color it is. This here is giving me that Sinanju Stein color complex, you know, where we didn't know what the actual color of the kit is until we see the kit in person. Now, before I go crazy though, I'm just gonna say that I hope this kit is blue. Now, I mentioned the few parts are molded in the right color and not stickers. I was not confident back then, but after the release of that video, I found out that the first Hi Nu Gundam Master Grade's shield, even though looking like this, is not stickers. And to get that dazzle camouflage look, it's made out of different parts molded in those colors. If they can do that back in 2007, they can do it today. And no doubt apply that technology to the wings also. Actually, if you look closer here, there, that's a giveaway that it's not sticker. Also, I mentioned the inner frame being the same. Back then, I had forgotten the fact that the Hi Nu is not as tall as the Nu Gundam. And I was leaning on the fact that the Master Grade Hi Nu Verka used a lot of the same runners for inner frame to some degree. However, it's still unclear if they would use the previous real grade parts for inner frame, but now I'm pretty sure they are not gonna use 100% of the same inner frame, just a little bit, and add new parts to it. And also I mentioned peacock for a bird because of those funnels, but all real Gundam fans know that it's not a peacock. See, the Hi Nu is a swan. Huh. Now with that out of the way, let's start our comparison. First image here on the left is from last year, and the newer one on the right, to see what we can squeeze out. First, apart from one staring away from us, the gold color sticks out to me on the new picture. It might be the saturation of the picture, or Bandai decides to go with a more yellow gold instead of a rose gold. Also, looking at the waist opening, that way confirmed it's got the same waist inner frame or mechanism as the new real grade. If not the same, it will have that same articulation. I hope it's tight enough to hold that backpack, because we don't want it to arch backwards when it's standing. Now, the back. Apart from the addition of the bazooka, have a look at this. The color on the inside of the funnels are different, which means it's parts and not stickers. Interesting, when you compare the older pictures to this one, the colors are flipped. Think it means something? Comment below. Me, I just noticed it. No big deal. I just hope it's uniform on the other wings. If this is the color for the right wing, the left wing should be the opposite, because it will bug those with OCD if it isn't. Unlike the new real grade, that should not be a hole to connect the funnels. It should be a solid covering. Anyways, the biggest takeaway in this comparison is this. Looks like we have more additional details added. Yay! Next, the aerial pose. Looks identical except for the front skirt here, which means also more surface details. We see this part by the wings articulate to give the funnels more spread. That's it for the comparison pictures. Let's look at what else there is. We see the front skirt there move to the side, giving this kit more range. Now looking at the wings, it's proper, meaning OCD guys like me rest easy. And something unexpected is the back tail here. This part here opens forward, giving it more gimmick. And we have blue beam saber, faithful to the original design. Now the head of the bird can articulate, or some would call this the tail, each his own. Now let's look at the kneeling picture. Whenever Bandai poses a Gundam like this, they're pretty much saying it's very articulate. However, this also shows how much effort they put into the legs. I thought there were no knee shifting armor gimmick for this kit. I was wrong. Bandai incorporate a double knee extreme shifting gimmick. That's crazy. I have never seen anything like that before. Also the toes, they arch up. It's important because that's where we get our balance from. Also the thigh armor shifts. No surprise there, as the new real grade does it too. And lastly, thrusters under the calf shifts as well. The upper calf armor moves up, giving it more articulation, akin to the master grade Verka. Crazy. I'm grinning from ear to ear. Now the wings can fold down. That's nice. And we see where you store the beam saber, open similar to the master grade Verka. Now the accessories, 2 beam effect and 3 hilts, meaning 1 beam saber keeps in the left forearm, and I'm guessing there will be an auto pop-up gimmick as well, and the other 2 in the wing binders. The action-based adapter is different from the real great new Gundam, but connects the same way. It removes the backpack and sandwich the parts in. This is great because you achieve the best aerial poses this way. No hyper mega launcher here. So sorry guys. Also the cockpit opens both ways like the new Gundam. Are you enjoying this content? Please subscribe and like and hit that notification bell. Some subscribers actually told me they don't get notified when I release a video, so notification bell for sure. Now let's talk about the companion kit, the high grade Nightingale. For the Nightingale Shield, it looks like they decided not to mold the symbol on it and just do straight stickers. It's better than stickers on a raised symbol, so stickers should not be a problem. Of course, water slide would be better, but stickers, no problem. Also, I mentioned the Hi Nu has more details compared to the Nightingale. It's fine, I know it's a different grade, but also cause the Hi Nu is smaller. Usually bigger designs have lesser surface details on them. I said I wanted the Nightingale real grade, but I digress. I think it's compatible now that I've seen the newer pictures. Now let's compare. On the left from last year, and on the right, the newer pictures. And first off, right off the bat, we see more decals. The Neo Xeon 99 and more. Now wait, check this out. That's a lot of redesign there. Now let's start with the side skirt. The newer picture has the side skirt behind the front skirt. Now speaking of that, I see more gray details on the front skirt. I hope it's not something you have to paint. And also the front skirt does look different. Way different actually. Also the counterbalance here has more surface details to it. Also the white trim around the front skirt is a separate part, and the gray inside is a separate part too. Woohoo! No need to paint them. The horns are a complete redesign. It kinda looks more like Sazabi. Also the head has been redesigned. As you can see, I hope the mono eye can shift. The gray scrunched up part on the arm are also a different redesign. And now this here is the biggest difference. It looks like they remove this red arm part entirely, perhaps for articulation for the arms. Apart from that, we have more gray details on the collar. Please don't be something we must paint. Thrusters on the shoulder armor are also bigger. The back stand lifts the back tail higher, and the bottom tanks are more tucked under. One more thing is the funnels are different as well. Now let's look at the back picture. Wow, a complete redesigned tail. Wow! The wings are arched way higher, and the thruster bells are way bigger compared to the RE1100. I believe they added more details to the back of the shield as well. The 3 tanks are a different color as well, and the forearms are redesigned too. Now we see where the shield plugs in, and the feet are bigger, and we see more details to the heel. Now that's all the pictures I have for comparing them. Now let's look at more new pictures. Yes, the Nightingale looks best when airborne, and this one's quite a poser. Someone commented that they wouldn't know how to pose the Nightingale. Me, I'm thinking you pose it like a tank, but here we see we can clearly do a lot more. We also have sub-arms. A lot of hobbyists were concerned about that. That answers a lot of the hobbyist requests. Now, a source also said there is a detail for a cockpit. Not a full actual cockpit, but some details for it. Now, I'm excited for that because I am a huge fan of cockpits. And this guy's cockpit is in the head. So, we also see that the toes can bend downwards. Now that's essential to any aerial poses. Also, the shoulder armor is way different compared to the RE1100. It's pointier. I wonder what's the use of the ball joint here on the shield. Any ideas? Comment below. Now looking at the accessories, we see the main beam axe and 4 beam sabers, 2 different effects. Interesting. Now there are 4 hilts, which makes me wonder, where will we store them? If it's like the Sazabi, it's stored here in the forearms, but you can't store it in that forearm there. So guess they get kept in a baggie. Now finally there is a beam cannon in the chest. This tells me that Bandai does care for the Nightingale after all. And it looks like the funnels are made up of a few different pieces as well. Will Shaw be proud? Definitely. The Nightingale may not be a real grade, but looking at these pictures, I think it will suffice. The more I analyze these pictures, comparing it, I feel that Bandai cares a lot for the Nightingale. I hope that this kit will be one of those high grade that is almost real grade level. You know, like the Moon Gundam and the Origin version Gundam. Yeah, like those two. So what we see here is making to be the best Nightingale to date, hands down. So what are your thoughts on these updated photos, or your hopes for these 2 kits? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, or this channel a subscribe. Please press the notification bell icon too, to not miss out on any of my latest video. Till the next one, keep things awesome, keep the hobbies going, and keep the hobbyist alive. I am Toyama23 signing out.